All right. Today we'll be talking about Liongard. What is Liongard? Liongard's a security posture management platform, which is a technology designed to detect and prevent misconfigurations and threats that can be imposed in your system. It allows you to inspect your network, servers, Active Directory, and much more on a much deeper level than you would normally have. It streamlines your onboarding and offboarding processes, as well as allows you to double check any entries to ensure no one has given the wrong permissions to users, um, security accounts, anything of that sort. Why you should be using it. Liongard allows you to know about and understand the changes that occur in your system. This will allow you to make more informed decisions in real time about activities that can be harmful to your environment. As we know, sometimes things can go under the radar because they don't always cause an issue straight away, but Liongard can let you know about these variances well in advance so you can resolve them before they do become a problem. Liongard can also keep you informed on Windows updates, SQL updates, workstations that are reaching the end of their warranty, machines that need upgrades, and plenty more. This image here depicts what you'll see as a timeline, and I'm going to go through a scenario of how this can be helpful to you and your team. Let's say Bob changes the member of the domain administrators group. That group membership should be reviewed by someone to make sure Bob didn't give permissions to the wrong person or remove the wrong person. This shows you a great way to know when the change happened and determine if it should have happened or not. If it shouldn't have, you know the details and how to roll it back. And if you start seeing odd behavior on your network, the same things will occur on different inspectors, and you can change them as you need via the change log. Liongard environments are where everything for your company or your managed companies will be located. Each one gives you the information for each inspector, agent, and the systems that are involved with those environments that are currently connected. Systems are anything in your in use by your company to work with others. So Teams, Azure AD, managed company domains, firewalls, antiviruses like SentinelOne, Sonic Wall. The metrics that the environment provides are based on what your inspectors return when they do their inspections. As long as they meet the default values that you have set, they will complete as normal and not send any alerts. But if something is amiss, then you will see alerts appear, how you ever set them up via ConnectWise or other platforms of the sort. And depending on your subscription with Liongard, you will also see your billing review, which will help you manage pricing and allow you to understand if you can add more inspectors for reasonable rate, or if you need to remove any non-business critical as the prices are too expensive. Here's a quick overview of the environment. As you can see, it tells you how many systems you have connected. So anything like ConnectWise, SentinelOne, Acronis, it'll be here. It'll tell you how many changes have occurred, and you can select the time range. These are changes as in new users, IPs changes, anything like that. Any alerts that are worrisome will be sent to you, but they'll also appear here. Here's an example of the metrics that you would see under the metrics page. So the Active Directory for DC4, workstation count, server count, user counts will all be here. You can also see when the last user was logged in on a certain area. Agents are what run the inspectors for Liongard. They can be installed on individual workstations, DCs, servers, or virtual machines. They allow the inspectors to run in your environment, and these are what make the reports for the inspectors after they run. If they aren't installed properly or aren't running, as if the workstation is offline during the runtime for the inspector, you will be notified, and there will also be alerts in Liongard telling you that the agent something's wrong with it. Here's an example of what an agent would look like inside of Liongard. It gives you the name of the agent, what environment it's looked at, all of the information you need for where it's installed, and then it also shows you the different inspectors that are associated with it, any discovered systems on that device or where the agent's located, anything that's disabled as well. The inspectors. So there's several different types of inspectors. Cloud inspectors go through your cloud services. These normally require a special account API keys, and special access to go through those accounts in order to function properly. So this includes anything with Office 365, SentinelOne, Azure. Any network inspectors go through your network to find any new devices, any new firewall information, any IP changes. The apps and services inspectors will go through your Hyper-V, your Active Directory, VMware. I'll let you know of any changes with those users, those hard disks, those virtual disks. And endpoint inspectors help manage your SQL servers, your Windows servers, any workstations, as well as Linux devices. These let you know when a database changes in a SQL server, if a workstation's IP changes for whatever reason, any other issues that might occur on these devices as well, like if they're offline for a certain amount of days. And then another feature of the inspectors is that you can be edited to suit your needs as they are JSON based. They're the worker bees of Liongard. Back to the image that I showed you earlier with a little bit more in depth. So here you can see the timeline. It goes back as far as when the inspector started. It'll let you know when changes occur with the little orange arrow. And here you can see that 2 changes occurred. And it looks like we added a new member to our team. So the number of users in that team changed to 39, as well as a name was added to the Active Directory and domain. You can do these with all inspectors. They will give you the timeline. They'll give you any information that you need, as well as the notifications wherever you have those set up. And here is the overview of what the JSON would look like. So here you can edit what it's looking for to give you the most accurate information that you desire. So it doesn't give you anything that would be useless for you to know, anything that you don't want to know. You can all change that here. Is there any questions?
So in general, is Liongard like an inventory of your assets and your people, or what?
So back at the start, it's a posture management platform. It's a technology that's designed to detect and prevent any misconfigurations and threats that can be imposed on your system. It's more of a preventative measure rather than a reactive measure. So it keeps you informed of what's going on in your system at all times. That way you can make informed decisions on if something should be changed, if something shouldn't have been changed, or if something looks like it could cause a problem in the future. So yes, you can use it for your own. It's kind of like an MSP device. You can use it to manage your own company.
MSP devices,
managed service provider. It can be used. So yeah, it's basically posture kind of means like you're standing in your environments and your clients' environments. So all of our managed IT clients are we have installed Liongard on, and so we get no alerts and notifications on anything that they have or do, and we can inform them and let them know of these changes, and then they can give us an idea of what they want us to do, or we make those informed decisions for them so issues don't arise later on.
So is it checking for things like spam and whatever?
That's what Iron Scales is for, our email device. This checks for changes in, let's say, your Active Directory. It'll check your login attempts. If somebody fails a login attempt more than 4 or 5 times, it gives us an alert to let us know that there might be a possible somebody might be trying to brute force attack that account. And so we'll go ahead and take the precautions of having that person change their password, maybe change their username. We'll go through all those steps, but we get alerted for those things. And then back here at it's based on JSON. So we can set the parameters that we want here and change anything that we need. So that way we can get these alerts for items that we do need rather than anything that might be not as necessary.
What are the pieces that are actually on the devices called again?
Those are the
inspectors.
Agents?
No, the inspectors.
Oh, you want the inspectors?
Yeah, so the inspectors are specific to a piece of software or piece of hardware Like, is that something that Liongard has to create a specific inspector for? Like, can there be a new piece of software that there isn't an inspector for yet?
Yes.
Okay.
So each inspector is linked directly to a certain piece of software. So there are Sentinel-1 inspectors, there's Office 365 inspectors, there's Azure inspectors, there's different types of, there's SonicWall, there's WatchGuard. Then the network discovery is a separate one, the network IP is a separate one. SQL servers, Hyper-V, VMware, they're all different inspectors that you can have on your system, which is why you pay per inspector, not per agent.
Okay. And then the agent monitors the inspectors, or is it one agent to one inspector? How does that work?
It's one agent per device or machine. So you would have an agent, let's say on our SQL server, you would put an agent on there, and then there would be a bunch of different inspectors that would run. So we'd have a Windows Server inspector. We'd have a SQL inspector. And then if like it's on our domain controller, we'd have an agent on our domain controller, and that would send out inspectors for Hyper-V, just all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so it's multiple inspectors per device potentially, and one agent monitoring all of those inspectors?
Right, correct.
Okay. And then the agent reports back to Liongard?
Yes.
Got it.
So these inspectors, are there out of the box defaults and then you can edit them? Or are there things that you need to create from scratch?
From my understanding, for the most part, they come out of the box ready to be used. And then you can set those, you can change the parameters to what you need to fit what you need. I don't believe you can create them out of the box, but that's something I can look into further and get back to you on. But I don't believe they do come out of the, or I don't believe you can create your own, so to speak.
For example, there's not a inspector for Epicor, is there?
No, not that I'm aware of. I haven't seen one. I've looked through it a couple times because it would be nice to know if like settings there aren't correct, or in the admin console. So I haven't seen one, but I'm sure we could look into that and maybe bring that up with Liongard and ask their thoughts on it.
So all
Thanks.
inspectors come from Liongard. There's not like a open app store where people create their own and share them or anything like that.
No, yeah, there's no open source for this, unfortunately.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Maybe I missed it, but does Liongard also act on things the inspectors find, or does it just tell you what happened?
Liongard won't act on anything. It will let you know, and you will need to act on it yourself. It's just there to alert you.
Is there any way to automate results from Liongard, like with another system, or is there any way to trigger anything else, or is it?
Yeah. So I think I explained it earlier, but I can go into it again. So it will connect with so for us, so to speak, we have, we use ConnectWise. We've integrated Liongard with ConnectWise. So it'll send alerts to us on the help desk, and those become tickets. So we see those tickets, it'll link us to that problem. And then we go and we look at the link, we go through that problem. And then from there, we can close out or investigate it. If it's not a problem, we'll close it out. If it is a problem, we look into it, resolve that issue, and then you have to close it out through Liongard because it's kind of its own ticketing system, if you will. So when you close it out in Liongard, it closes it out in our help desk too.
And Chris, in terms of automation, there is a software called Roost that will work with Liongard to actually run tasks automatically based on the alerts, but that's not something we utilize right now.
Want more Codabears Lunch and Learn? Check out our channel for more videos or contact us on our website for registration information.